the Wednesday after the Madison National Championships in Australia, and I'm about to speak with Ashlee Ankudinoff, who I met many years ago while out on a bike. It was the time of the wonderful and exciting 2012 World Championships on the velodrome in Melbourne. And I was coming back into town and Ash rolled up next to me. And that's when we first got to know each other, and we've spoken on and off over the years. Here she comes, about to introduce her. 1, 2, 3. Oh. No.
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 So good.
If it's portraits, so be it. Hello, Ashlee Ankudinoff.
Hello, Rob. How you doing?
I'm very well. So we're recording already. I've done a little preamble, and I was trying to recall where you and I met, and I came up with 2012 World Championships. Could that be right?
Yeah. That was in Melbourne, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, gee, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
See, we've been around a while, both you and I. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's certainly been a long career, that's for sure.
It has. And we spoke just before going on the air here, just to arrange this interview, and I asked you, okay, how many national titles is that for you? And you said, well, I don't know. So you've won a few. You've also got, let me count, is it like 4 world titles?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I definitely remember how many I've won of them. But yeah, national titles, I'd say 8 or 9, I reckon.
Okay, we've got a pretty average picture quality, but we're going to live through it. It's okay. You're on your phone in Adelaide. I'm in Sydney, and I'm sure people understand what it's like in 2021. So we can, so long as we get the audio working, we should be okay. So we're talking about track racing, which is your specialty, really, isn't it? Do you call yourself a team pursuiter, or an individual pursuiter, or a bike rider, or where do you fall into? What niche are you?
Probably just a track endurance rider. Like you said, I've dabbled in a bit of both track and road, but I would say that I'm more of a track rider than a road rider.
But we're all bike riders at heart. Do you think that track cycling will get more publicity or more exposure or more feel-good factor than it is in 2021? Or is it we're all just waiting for this big mysterious Tokyo event?
Yeah, you're exactly right there. I really hope that the Olympics continue to go ahead. It's just so unstable at the moment and uncertain times, but we're not looking at the fact that it might not be cancelled. It's all play on for us. And yeah, I guess I hope that everyone does follow us track cyclists, because I think we've got a lot of talent within the Australian track team, and I think we can produce some pretty good results. Over the last year, it's been tough times, but I think we've been really adaptable, and we're a versatile bunch, and everyone's motivated leading into Tokyo.
From what I saw, it looked like there might have been a bit of a crowd in Adelaide on the weekend. How was that the teams organised for the Madison? Because you're more or less all part of the one and the same unit, aren't you? So how did you decide if you'd be with Alex and...
Yeah, so it actually wasn't our choice who we went with. It was Glenn O'Shea and Tim Decker. They put their heads together and kind of decided the teams. And yeah, I mean, all 5 of us within the women's track program are great Madison riders. So I actually didn't mind who I partnered with. We trained a lot together, and yeah, I was just any chance to race for an Australian jersey is a privilege, and yeah, to race with Alex Manley, who we've had some recent tussles over the years. We've had some good tussles together, and yeah, it was nice to team up with her and get that Australian jersey.
But I'm sure that the race on the weekend is fresh in your mind. Do you want to just talk us through? I saw none of it, so I can't sort of ask any educated questions about it. You just have to paint the scene for me. Was there a crowd? Was it tight? Did anyone take a lap? Were there any tumbles? What was the highlight, and so on?
It was a field of 6, so it wasn't well stacked, but the quality of riders was definitely there. We had myself and Alex together, Maeve Plouffe and Alex Martin Wallace together, Nettie and Georgia Baker, and 2 sassy teams, local teams. So yeah, not a big field, but it certainly was a quality field, and we knew we'd be up against it again with Georgia Baker and Nettie. They're 2 very classy riders, and they can both sprint. So Alex and I we knew we just had to be present and consistent right through the race and keep picking up points. The race was basically just won on sprints. We became unstuck in the first sprint and we just made sure that we kept ticking away because we had 11 sprints to go. In the last 50 laps, we won 4 out of the last 5 sprints, which is ideal for us. And we had actually a bit of a buffer coming into the last sprint because in the last sprint there's double points, and so we had a 10-point lead heading into that last sprint. And all we had to do was just be in the points to win the race. So it was pretty cool winning against Georgia and Nettie, because they're very, as I said, they're very classy, and they're 2 sprinters. So we had to be smart, and it was very, very cool.
So did you and Alex sort of have a game plan? Was she to be the sprint and you the lead out, or the other way around, or how did you play that?
At the start, Alex was just getting rolled by Nettie and G in the first couple of sprints. So then I was like, oh, we'll change it up so I can sprint against Nettie and G. And then we started to win a couple. We went really hard in 2 sprints, and that kind of fatigued her. And then also Georgia and Nettie missed a change. And we saw that mistake, so we capitalized on that and really made sure that I put Alex in a great position in the sprints so that she had enough legs to roll Nettie and Georgia. So
the selection by Tim and Glenn, was that based on trying to create competition, create partnerships? Because it's different this year, because they're all going to plan and there's going to be a Madison Games. That's kind of exciting. Was this like a selection race or a performance review, or how did it play out? What's the go with that?
Yeah, so the Madison team hasn't been selected yet. And as you said, there actually isn't many races, and there probably won't be from now until Olympics. So I'm sure Tim and Glenn's idea behind pairing up certain people was for people to kind of show what they've got and how they gel as a team. Nettie and G potentially could be the partnership in Tokyo. I probably won't be putting my hand up for Tokyo for the Madison, but I think Alex Manley definitely helped her cause and hoping to get that spot for the Olympics in the Maddo.
It must be a bit tense, because the 4 of you, let's say, be a very tight unit because of all the team work that you've done over the years. Is there have you all spoken about it? And if it comes down to a sort of a tight tussle for selection, are you all sort of pretty comfortable with one another getting the nod?
That's one good thing about our team. We're all for whoever gets the final selection. And it's pretty fair on that side of things.
I can't imagine there being any bitter rivalries.
No, there's definitely no bitter rivalries. And that's the environment that we've created along with the coaches.
It's sort of difficult to talk to track riders without sort of honing in on Tokyo, but I don't really want to hone in on Tokyo because it feels like the question's the same and the response is the same for everyone who's involved. And that is, you just have to wait and see what unfolds, and hopefully it'll come good and then it'll go forward. But if we can just consider it for a minute, the team's done extremely well over the years. We've seen multiple world titles claimed. You feel like you've got the better of whoever turns up on the day in Japan?
Yeah, that's what I hope. But I mean, you don't want to hope. I know we have the best support team, and we have the girls in the team to actually finish on top of that podium. We've been working so well together through these tough times in the last year, and I believe we're stronger than ever. We're both mentally and physically very strong, and we're pretty motivated as a group to go get that gold medal in Olympics.
Traditionally, we'd be looking at Team GB as the key rivals, but you know Mr. Gary Sutton very well as well, and you know that he doesn't sort of leave any stone unturned, and he's got a lot of talent at his disposal in the US. Are they sort of muscling their way into medal contention, gold medal contention?
Yeah, of course. We know that the Americans are very strong, and last year at the Worlds, we also saw that Germany stepped up, and also the Kiwis. So Yeah, we're under no illusion that it's going to be very like easy to get onto that podium. And yeah, we'll use that disappointment from Rio 4 years or 5 years ago now to really like turn the tables and make sure that we put in a good ride.
You know me long enough to know that I'm sort of a bit obsessed with team pursuit. We've seen world record after world record in both men's and women's. You've set a few world records over the years. A few or just the one? Can you remind me?
Just the one.
But that was to win a rainbow jersey, so it was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was good. That was in 2015. Yeah. And that was Paris 2015. Again, goes very quick.
What is the current world record?
4:10.2 by the Great Britain team. That was in Rio.
Are you going to be bold and offer a prediction of what it might come down to should there be an Olympic Games in 2021?
Yeah, so my prediction will be a 4:05 or a 4:06 for the women, and hopefully that's done by the Australian team.
Well, you got some insight, so tell me, have you done that in training yet?
No, we haven't.
Oh, really? Come on.
No,
Okay.
no, but we plan on doing that in August, so we've still got some time.
When it's an event that is as structured as cycling can possibly be, which is the team pursuit, I'm surprised that you haven't gone out and done like your best possible ever, like give it everything in training. Well, you probably have, you just haven't set a world record. But are you getting below 4:10?
We have done some rehearsals. But yeah, no, I can tell you right now we haven't been under the 4:10, but we are very close. And that's all I'm going to say.
I won't delve too deep. Luke told me that there was experimentation with some pretty weird gear combinations to try and get, a nice chain alignment. Have you been part of that testing protocol as well?
Yeah, of course. The men's and women's kind of training program is quite aligned. So yeah, whatever the guys are doing, we're on it as well, which is pretty cool.
And when you're riding a 72 chain ring, does it feel more efficient, or are you sort of getting?
I guess so. I'm not one of these people that really kind of delves into the technical side of the bikes and that sort of stuff. I really just, at the end of the day, I just get on and pedal fast.
If we're talking about a little bit of equipment research, I mean, given that you've got the opportunity and had a whole extra year to do some experimentation with equipment, has there been any example where you get on and you use something in particular, some experiment, I don't know, different handlebars, different pressure in the tyres, do something where you get off and you just go over to Tim and Glenn and just say, "Oh, that's the best. I've really just..."
I guess one moment for me that happened was kind of like the front end, the handlebars. Normally everyone's about going low, but we've actually kind of tried to raise myself up in the front end, and actually I found that one, very comfortable, and two, it's actually pretty aero. So yeah, I think that was kind of a moment that I really liked. It's something so simple, just raising your arms up to closer to your head. It just opens up your hip angle a little bit more and you're able to produce more power. That's what I found as well. I know everyone's different and produces power differently, but that's something that I really it was beneficial for me.
Do you want to talk about anything else in particular? You take the floor and tell me what's sort of on your mind, what you'd like other people to know about a team that is achieving a lot but not always getting huge headlines. Anything that we ought to know?
Well, I'm kind of doing a bit of planning post cycling. Obviously I've been in the sport for so long, and all good things must come to an end, but I'm not announcing my retirement straight after Olympics, but I kind of just want to set myself up so I make that transition from sporting life into the real world that bit smoother. Currently I have a level 1 cycling coaching accreditation. So that's kind of something that I'm passionate about, and I want to kind of give back to the sport post my career. And at the moment, I'm coaching a little bit and kind of working with Brett Aiken a little bit with the Sassy Juniors, just to kind of like make sure that the kids kind of stay in the sport of cycling. So that's kind of a little insight to what I'm doing off the bike, is just setting up my post-life career.
Well, super. Thanks very much for taking the time to have a chat. Congrats again on another national title. Let's keep our fingers crossed for a good couple of months ahead, and hopefully the COVID cloud will clear and some podium time.
Perfect. Thanks for chatting, Rob.